Welcome to the Arousr Adult Chat Reviews podcast. Let's talk about Chatroulette in 2026. What's changed, and is it still worth it? So today we're talking about something a lot of people are curious about again lately, Chatroulette. Yes, that random video chat site that basically defined an entire era of the internet. But here's the real question. In 2026, does it still hold up? Or have newer platforms like Arousr changed what people actually expect from online connections? Let's break it down. The nostalgia factor. For a lot of people, Chatroulette is pure nostalgia. You click a button, you get connected to a stranger, and you never know what you're going to see next. That unpredictability is still part of the appeal. And to be fair, the platform has made some updates over the years. There's better moderation than there used to be. There are some filters now, and the technology itself is smoother than the early days. So yes, it's improved, but improvement doesn't always mean evolution. The reality, in 2026, the biggest issue people run into today is actually the same one from years ago. Random doesn't always mean good. You might connect with someone interesting, or you might connect with someone who immediately skips you. Or worse, someone behaving in a way you didn't expect. There's very little control over who you meet, and that creates a pretty inconsistent experience. Some users enjoy that chaos, but a lot of people in 2026 are looking for something different. They want connection, not just randomness. Safety and trust expectations have changed. Here's something important. Online behaviour has evolved a lot in the past few years. People are more aware of privacy, more aware of scams, more aware of bots and fake accounts, and traditional roulette-style platforms weren't really designed for that new mindset. You're often talking to anonymous strangers with no verification, no profiles, and no real accountability. For some users, that's fine. For others, it's a deal-breaker. Where modern platforms differ. This is where platforms like Arousr come into the conversation. Instead of random strangers, you're connecting with verified hosts. You can choose who you talk to, you can read profiles, you can build ongoing conversations instead of starting from zero every time. That changes the experience completely. It moves from, let's see what happens, to, I know what I'm looking for. And psychologically, that matters, because anticipation and familiarity are huge parts of attraction and intimacy online. Control versus surprise. So really, the difference comes down to one thing: control. Chatroulette is about surprise. Arousr is about intention. Neither is inherently right or wrong. It just depends on what someone wants. If you're bored and curious, roulette can still be entertaining. But if you're looking for connection, flirting, fantasy, or ongoing chemistry, most users today lean toward platforms where they have more choice. The monetization difference. There's also a structural difference worth mentioning. Chatroulette is mostly free, which sounds great. But free platforms often come with trade-offs: less moderation, less accountability, less consistency. Paid interaction platforms tend to create different behaviour. People are more engaged, more respectful, and more intentional with their time. So the experience often feels more focused. So, is Chatroulette still worth trying? Honestly, it depends on your expectations. If you go in expecting randomness and novelty, you might have fun. If you go in expecting meaningful interaction, you might be disappointed. And that's why many people eventually move toward curated platforms instead. Not because roulette is broken, but because user expectations evolved faster than the format did. The biggest takeaway here is simple. The internet didn't just change technologically, it changed psychologically. People want safety, choice, authenticity, and real interaction. Random video chats will probably always exist, but platforms built around intentional connection are becoming the new standard. If you've ever tried Chatroulette, or you're thinking about it, just remember, the experience you get will largely depend on luck of the draw. Hence the name. If you want the odds to always be in your favour and better privacy policies, you might want to consider a paid adult chat service instead. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.